I really do hope you guys enjoyed this portion of the video, which was the sculpting out of Sculpey Original. We will go ahead and go into the next video of this playlist, which will be us detail painting this to perfection out of Winsor & Newton and Folk Art craft paints. So sit back and enjoy as we get into that video. Now, as we jump into the voiceover here, guys, I'm just going to kind of reiterate of the project we're rolling into. Now, as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and get my workstation set up. I'm actually going to go ahead and move this recent abstract painting that I had created with my TikTok followers. We were able to do that on TikTok Live, and we had a blast creating that. And I really made that painting in about an hour or so. That painting will be coming out in the next few weeks. As you can see here, this is the project we're working on today. Now, this is the light switch that we created for the 3D Tumbler Lounge Facebook group. Kind of like a challenge that they created, like a sculpting challenge. And this is my entry into that challenge. So I've been thinking about this project for a very long time, and it was just such a great excuse to be able to just break out the clay and create this. Now this, again, I've said it before, is going to go into my children's bathroom, which is a beach theme. So when this thing gets completely sculpted out and painted, it will be going in my own house. So I'm not reselling any kind of Disney Pixar franchise trademarks. So just be aware that this is for me, myself, and my kids. So we're going to begin this as we do most of our painting projects, especially for like dioramas and clay projects. I'm going to give it a nice little Mars Black shadowed base. Now, I'm not going to coat the entire project in a Mars Black base, but I'm just going to kind of get some recessed shadows in. So that way I can go ahead and get some of this paint pushed into some of these sculpted marks that I've already sculpted and baked into this Sculpey Original clay. Now, throughout this process, I will introduce my palette on the left-hand side, and all of these portions of the painting sessions will be in the 6x speed. So just remember that we're not going to truly blast through these in like a 36 to 40 times speed video, and that's the reason why it's running about 47 minutes long for the painting version. The sculpting version ran about 45, and I will also link that in the info card, so if you want to go back and watch that video, and then you can watch all of the videos of the painting portions after that. And I say multiple videos because I did separate individual sections of this paint job out into their own individual videos with their own individual commentary. So here in a few moments, you'll know I will drop off this video, and I'm going to let you guys really just sit back, enjoy the background music, and enjoy the painting process on your own. I want to design these so that they're nice, relaxing videos that you can put on in the background when you're falling asleep, or maybe even just like washing some dishes, or want to see some of my techniques. And I don't want you getting distracted by my voiceover simply because I want to be heard. I am here to let you enjoy my artwork, and sometimes just having the voiceover is a little bit distracting. So I did separate those out. I made about 4 or 5 videos in total of me painting different sections of this project, and like I said, they will have their own individual voiceovers, introducing colors onto the palette and things like that, talking about the overall shading design that I have in my head as I apply those colors. And just be aware that I will also be introducing its own individual epoxy video. We'll be using a Flynn Sister regular set 2-part epoxy to give this thing a absolute glass-like finish over the existing acrylics that we're applying in this video. And that's just going to allow it to have a little bit of protection from those little grimy hands, children's hands, once it's installed on the bathroom light switch. So go ahead and sit back, you guys. If you are interested in your own sculpted item like this, make sure you reach out to me through my Etsy shop, link in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that like button. But without further ado, you guys, sit back, enjoy the music, and have fun watching me paint this beautiful I Lava You light switch. As another reminder, you guys, if you want to hear my voiceovers for the individual painting sections of this video, then you can find those not just under the actual Wallplate playlist there on my YouTube channel, but you'll also be able to find those links in the description below. So if you want to go back and watch an individual section, you can do so. And that's where you'll actually hear me talking about the colors and the shading and the color contrast and what I'm thinking as I'm applying a lot of these colors. Now, throughout the next portions of the video here, you're going to also notice that I'm going to begin working from dark to light. So it will take quite a few layers just to build up the general depth that I want with the color layers. But generally what I'll do is I'll start with the darks and work towards lights, whether it's the volcanic ash or the volcanoes themselves. And then we'll also do that dark to light transition when we get to the actual ocean waves as well. Now, throughout the process, remember that these oranges and reds will be slightly covered up throughout the processes. I know it's difficult to cover up some of those beautiful paints, but that just is what is required to get a great depth of overall contrast with colors. So a lot of this beautiful color that I'm applying here will get covered up. Same thing for the ocean. As I apply some of those dark, deep colors and give it some pre-dry brushing, when I come in with other layers, a lot of that gets washed out, but that's just part of the process of creating very in-depth, beautiful layers of paint. As I finish applying that ivory black to her hair there, before we even do any final touches of dry brushing over that hair, those hair follicles and hair clumps coming down her body, what we'll do is we're going to roll into the ocean. You can kind of see a sneak peek of that there. And we've already got a little bit of a blue base built up from the previous session. I'm not one to waste paint, so I did use a little bit of Windsor blue from the night before, the sessions before, and I applied that as a base coat over the waves and the whales in between the actual volcanoes and the ocean beach itself. I've already got a little bit of an ombre effect between the ocean waves and the edges of the beach, and we will intensify that in this process. Again, we are working from dark to light throughout this entire process, and I will also be doing a lot of dry brushing until we reach a titanium white highlight with a little bit of cadmium yellow hue. We will also be painting the whales with a pale blue as well as a Windsor blue, and we're going to make those very simplistic overall, and they're just supposed to be very subtle in comparison to some of the details throughout the rest of the process. Throughout the ocean, we are going to use mostly in a lot of turquoise because it just glows so beautifully in contrast to the colors around it, and I want it to have a little bit of a green hue when it's all said and done. Also introducing a little bit of cadmium yellow into those waves so they look a little bit transparent in some places. Sit back and enjoy. Looking pretty good, you guys. Look how great those waves turned out. Look at the sculpt marks and everything with the dry brushing over them. It looks phenomenal. You can also see the yellow and the turquoise coming through those waves to make them look like the sunlight is cascading through them. Now, as we roll into the last painting segment of this video, I hope you've enjoyed it up to this point in time. The turtles themselves, I did not know which kind of a color direction I wanted to take them, but I did decide to go ahead and start with a yellow ochre base because I knew that I wanted to introduce a little bit of gold into these. Now, that gold is not a Winsor & Newton paint. It is actually a folk art paint, a crafting paint. It is also an acrylic, but it looks absolutely spectacular. And I really focused the gold around the edges of the face as well as on the turtle shell itself, just to give it a little bit of shine over some of those existing colors. Now, I will go ahead and give them that yellow ochre base, but then I'll build up a little bit of a kind of a milky to a sap green color before I start to roll into some yellow ochre highlights with titanium white, as well as a little bit of turquoise over the shell to kind of create some isolation in the shell's overall textures. I will also do some dirty washes over the shells just to kind of blend out and bring a lot of depth to those colors before I introduce any of the golds. So just be aware that there's a lot of washes here, a lot of dry brushing around the folds of the skin of the turtles, and I wanted them to be kind of blended with the background to where they don't stand out too much and are too bright, and that way they don't take away from the actual volcanoes in the background as well. So you got to find that perfect balance between beautiful and vibrant, but not so eye-catching that it kind of steals away from the rest of the composition. Now as I go ahead and apply the last few dry brush kind of marks to her hair itself, just bringing up a little bit of a gray tone over some of those sculpted marks that I had sculpted with the X-Acto knife and the carving tools. There it is in all of its glory. Now this is before we apply that 2-part epoxy from Flynn Sister, and it's the first time I've used Flynn Sister epoxy over such a clay base. Now usually I use it for a lot of tumblers creations, 3D tumblers and epoxy tumblers, but I've never used it over just a simple clay structure like this. It's not really a diorama, but it could be considered in that kind of venue, as it were. I hope you guys enjoyed this. The color combination throughout the entire project was absolutely great, and it took me around 12 hours between the sculpting and the painting and the varnishing as well. So it was well time invested in this project, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now just remember that if you'd like to see any of the individual painting segments of this project, then you can do so. Those will be available under the playlist there on my YouTube channel. If you want your own artwork, make sure you reach out to me through my Etsy shop. Otherwise, guys, I'll catch you on the next awesome project. Later, guys.